So today we have a new in the box blender fan, which is rare enough that we're going to make a video of the box and then the fan unboxed. We're outdoors for really good lighting. So this is a brand new in the box from eBay Sears 36-inch 3-blade ceiling fan. Now the box artwork shows a bunch of different fans. That's a turn of the century. That's a Blenderfan, the one right there, similar to what's in the box, but this one is brown. There's just looks like another TOC to me, that one on the end. So the specs for this particular fan are that it's 3 blades, it's 1 speed, 61 watt motor, came with a 1-year warranty. That's pretty much it, nothing special going on here, okay? So blender fans were always packaged in boxes like this that were very tall and skinny. Never seen a ceiling fan packed in a box quite like this before. Come around the side here, we can see Sears brown 36-inch 3-blade ceiling fan. Obviously your choices were only brown or white. We have an original, some sort of triplicate form. It's handwritten, it's very hard to read, but there's really nothing special on there. Come up here to the end, we can see that this box is still factory stapled and sealed, which I believe is the case on the other end as well. This is still stapled, sealed, and it has the Sears price sticker on it, so you can get that focus on that. So apparently it was originally $69.99, then got marked down to $39.99. So according to Dan Spiffy Newman, A, this is the rarest incarnation of the blender fan, and B, it was only made for approximately 1 year, around 1981. I have heard a little confusion about whether it's like 80 into 81 or 81 into 82. There may be a little overlap there, but in any case, this is from the very early 1980s, somewhere around 1981. So let's go ahead and open her up. And here it is out of the box. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We've got the metal tuna can canopy. It has a date code of July 28th, 1981. I don't know if 105 means it's the 105th fan they made that day, or was made at 1:05 p.m. in the afternoon, or what maybe it was made by employee number 105, who knows. So we've got that. We have a loose parts bag here, which contains obviously the J-hook mounting, wire nuts. So we've got a pull chain string. We have the original Sears owner's manual here, which gives the model number. It's got a photo of it. In the back, they of course have the exploded parts diagram. That was one of my favorite things as a kid with Sears manuals, was the exploded parts diagram and the parts list. Stuff comes in handy. And as far as specs go, the only one in here is that the 1 speed is 250 RPMs. So we got that going on. We got the 3 blades individually wrapped. I took one out of the plastic so we could take a look at it. So these are the plastic faux wood grain blades. And then we've got the motor here. So it's definitely brown, and that may seem obvious, but I mean that it's different from normal blender fan brown, which is sort of a bronzy color, a metallic bronze. This is distinctly brown, not metallic. Also, it's very lightweight. This motor weighs about half as much as any of my K63 36-inch blender fan motors do. So this is actually a K55 motor with the K63 end bells. You can almost think of that as like the top and bottom plate of the motor itself. So you get a lot of performance, but with the aesthetics of the K63, which is nice. Got a tag here for Sears, Roebuck & Company. It's a Sears ceiling fan. It's rated at 61 watts, 0.56 amps. So the obvious next step here is going to be to take this fan home and to install it. So there we go with the brand new in the box blender fan. And here it is installed. So this is the You can definitely tell it's a K55 motor, even with the K63 end bells, just because of how thick, tall the motor housing is. You know, K63s are maybe 2/3 this height. Personally, I like the aesthetics of a K63 motor better. The K55 itself is a better motor on paper, but the K63 looks better aesthetically. So if I cannot see the motor, like it's inside a Casablanca or something, I prefer a K55. But when I can see the motor, which is basically just blender fans, then I prefer a K63. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate this fan now. I have it hooked up to an Emerson wall control here. This wall control is not correct for this fan in the sense that the fan is from 1981 and the control is from 1986 and is specifically listed on the package to be used only with 1895 series and Northwind fans. Having said that, A, the Blenderfan no longer existed by 1986. Spin up to high, by the way. And B, it works. That's really all it comes down to. It works and it's safe. I hope that motor startup sound came across on camera. This fan has some really cool motor startup sounds. So, other collectors that have gotten a hold of this same fan, including Dan, have made videos. And Dan had a theory that, because his fan was running seemingly kind of sluggishly, and so is mine. Now, for those of you who have 36-inch blender fans with the 2-speed pull chain, this 1-speed fan is equivalent to the low on those 2-speed blenders. So it seems that either the capacitor has been derated in this, because this was Sears' cheapest fan, and they may have just intentionally hamstrung it a bit to give you an incentive to pay more for an upgraded model. So it could be that the capacitor is derated, or it could be that this is a 2-speed motor, has a high and low tap coming out of it, and that they wired it to use the low speed on the pull chain switch. And if that's the case, then the motor lead for high speed may just be capped off up in the lower canopy. At the moment, I'm happy with this on the 4-speed wall control, but I do want eventually a light kit here. This corner is dark without a light kit. So when I add the light kit, obviously I won't be able to use that 4-speed wall control anymore. So at that time, I'm gonna wind up converting this fan to multi-speed pull chain. I haven't decided yet if it's gonna be 2, 3, or 4-speed. But in the process of doing that, I will take everything apart and investigate if this is indeed a 2-speed motor that's just using the low speed lead and what's going on. But this is definitely not Blenderfan high. This is Blenderfan low, at least compared to 36-inch 4-blade K63 blenders, like the brown and white ones that you guys are gonna see pretty soon in an upcoming fan tour. So this is high, and we'll go ahead and turn it off now. And so you can see the spin down, and then we'll run through the other speeds on this speed control here. So at the time that this fan came out in 1981, the only speed controls that Emerson offered were solid state speed controls, basically just a dimmer, a rotary knob dimmer. And the speed control that I'm using on this fan, the 1895/Northwind one, is a capacitor-based speed control. And that just wasn't an option that Emerson offered in 1981 when this fan came out. Now I keep saying Emerson, and some of the younger collectors, people new to collecting, may be saying, well, Skylar, I thought this was a Sears fan.
I saw you open a Sears box earlier in the video. That spin down was pretty quick. I do think these bearings are a little stiff because this fan is literally 40 years, 1981 to 2021, 40 years new in the box. So I think after it runs in for a week, that this will probably spin down much slower. In any case, we're gonna do the spin up to low, which is the 4th speed on my 4-speed control. And that's where I've been leaving this fan for the last 24 hours that it's been installed. It's just on the low speed. I do wish it was a little lower. You'll see when it spins up, it's a fairly fast low. Maybe not for air moving purposes, but for aesthetic purposes. So, in the process of converting this to a multi-speed pull chain, reality will probably be 4-speed because that's the most useful. In this particular location where it's at, I'm only ever going to use it on 2 speeds, the fastest and the slowest. But in the future, you know, I may want to use it in other locations, and it's convenient if it's just 4-speed and ready to go. So it's pretty well spun up to where it's going to get to. This is the low speed on the 4-speed wall control. So this is my first 3-blade blender fan, because I'm not counting the Stratojet as a blender fan. Otherwise, the Stratojet that I got, oh gosh, it's probably been 2 years now. I did a video, it's on Dan's channel if you search. That would have been my first 3-blade blender fan if you're counting the Stratojet, but I don't. I personally am not a huge fan, no pun intended, of 3-bladed fans. 4 is my favorite number of blades on any fan. Having said that, 3-blade blender fans were quite common back in the day. You'd see them a lot of places. Personally, where did I run into 3-blade blenders back in the day? There was a grocery store in Guilford, Connecticut, which at the time the fans were put in was called Edwards. It was a chain that got bought out. Edwards became something else that I don't remember, but now it's Big Y. It's the building is still there. It's still a grocery store. It's Big Y grocery store chain now. But when it was Edwards, they had 2 white 52-inch 3-blade blender fans, pretty much blade tip to blade tip, pretty much as soon as you walked in the store. So, you know, you come through the double slide open doors, past where the shopping carts are, and, you know, very first thing inside is the produce section. And it starts maybe 25 feet inside the front door. So in that space, in that first 25 feet inside the front door, basically right where the produce section started, they had these 2 white 3-blade blenders, blade tip to blade tip almost, way up high on the ceiling. You know, it's like any grocery store. It's got big, probably 30-foot high exposed metal ceilings. The fans were up there. The whole ceiling was painted that same color, antique white, so you really couldn't even see the fans without looking. It was just an odd install. There was almost no point to them. They were not over an area that anybody would stand. They didn't serve any real function or purpose, but they were still cool. Some of the coolest installs are the weird installs that just make you go, huh? So the thing I remember about them is that they had, very similar to a Stratojet, they had that silver metal disc in the bottom of the flywheel, because they were the non-switch housing version. I should have mentioned that. This is a 3-blade blender with a switch housing, but they also made 3- and 4-blade blender fans without switch housings. Some of which would have a pull chain coming straight out of the middle where a switch housing would go, and others you just used a wall control. So the two white ones at the grocery store, those were the type that did not have a switch housing, and they had like just a little silver, maybe inch diameter disc in that location there, just like a Stratojet. Blendy. So if you watch these videos in the regular, you might be asking yourself, where'd that Thomas Fasco go? Well, let's take a little look. So obviously we've got the Spirit of Saturn and the Chupang bed fan. Oh, Charleston suddenly grew an extra foot on its downrod. So we've got the brown Charleston now on a 1 foot new old stock textured brown Fasco downrod. It's a great look in this room. I love it so much more with this downrod that I think it may stay for quite some time now. Wait, what's that over there? What's that over there? It's the Thomas Fasco back on its stock downrod. There you have it, folks. That's where we're at.